Super excited about this episode with the legend. Steve Knight here along with
Shea Quinn.
Shea Quinn. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about this guy's vast history, all of the things he's got going on still, and all of the things that he's done throughout Central PA and really around the country. So a lot to get to. We're excited to have you for a brand new episode of The Night Shift.
It's your turn. Sing! Oh, you sound good. Let's try it one more time. It's your turn. Sing!
Well, as I mentioned, really looking forward to this episode and sitting down with this guy, Shea Quinn. Shay, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on The Night Shift. I appreciate it, man.
You're my brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So much to get into with you, so much history to get into. I always like to start at the beginning. You know, what was your inspiration for this life of music that you've had? What was the thing that you got the bug?
As I was telling you on the way down,
Yeah.
sitting in front of my parents' black and white Zenith TV,
Yeah.
no remote control, you had to switch the channels.
Sure.
I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan,
Yeah.
and I lost it. I wanted to be a vet before that,
Right.
a veterinarian,
Yeah.
and that's what they told me. I said anyway.
Yeah.
I wanted to work with animals. And then I saw the Beatles, and we saw the girls screaming and the cool outfits and playing guitars, and I went,
That's it.
that's what I got to do.
That's it.
That's for me.
That's for me.
I like that.
I like
if
that.
I can do that,
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do.
That's what I'm going to do. And here we are, right?
I did it.
Yeah. Here we are.
Somehow.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody in your life, you know, when you were younger that kind of helped you along the way or encouraged you to get into music?
My brother was everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
My brother Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having that Piker's tribute coming up at the Frederickson Library on August 7th,
Right.
which is next week.
Yeah.
And I'm losing my voice. That's
Yeah.
not a good
Right.
sign. But my brother was a year older than me, and he said, "You're going to sing backups. You're going to play bass. You're going to play guitar. I'm going to be the front man." And I said, because I was very shy as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I loved the Beatles, but I didn't know how to get there. My brother was very outgoing, you know, had so much talent, you know, just incredible talent.
Yeah.
And he just kind of taught me how to sing harmonies. He taught me how to do everything, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I was going to ask you now. I think I know, because you know you've played a lot of bass. Now you play a lot of guitar. You play both, but so you wound up playing bass as a younger guy. You famously played bass in the Sharks because your brother Sean was like, "You're a bass player."
Yeah.
Yeah,
We need you on bass.
yeah.
I mean,
We need a bass player.
there's no bass players around.
and it's going to be you.
It's you, and you're going to sing backups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And he actually, you know, I played guitar for years, so
Sure.
switching to bass was not a difficult thing. So, and that's kind of how with the Sharks, it was more like a lead bass part. It was
Right.
a very prominent part of the Sharks band was
right.
the drums and the bass. It was like lead bass, like the popping and the slapping. Before that was like a popular thing.
Yeah.
Like the plucking and stuff.
yeah,
I just went for it. You
Yeah.
know, I kind of attacked the bass more like a guitar
Mm-hmm.
than I did, you know, like this kind of stuff.
right.
It was more. I was more attacking the bass. You know?
Yeah. So, you know, that led to obviously, you know, so the Pikers, were they your first band? Or were you in?
I had a bunch of bands in high school. You
Yeah.
know, actually, I had a band called Slash.
Long before Slash.
Way before Slash.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and of course, I know you're a big Kiss fan. I was
Yeah.
a huge Kiss fan. I joined the Kiss Army when I was 15, I believe.
Yeah.
And I wrote Gene Simmons a letter because I thought he was going to write me back.
Yeah.
Stupid kid. I'm like, really?
Yeah. You know
But,
what? I wrote Gene Simmons a letter too, and he did write me back.
He did.
No.
No, he didn't. I got this stock,
Right. With
postcard.
Thank you
back.
for your interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Send us more money.
Send us
and we'll
more
send
money.
you more stuff.
Right. We'll send you
Yeah.
more stuff.
It was
yeah.
always about the money.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I forget what we were
Yeah.
talking about.
You had some early bands and
Yeah.
a band called
in
Slash.
high
and-
school.
Yeah.
I think we dressed up as Kiss. The one I went to Camp Hill High School.
Yeah.
Playing in the cafeteria, we all dressed as Kiss, which
Yeah.
was funny as
Yeah. Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Of course, I was Gene.
Yeah, right.
I had to be Gene.
Right.
And a bunch of high school bands. And the funny thing is, my best friends from high school are the guys who are playing this library show with me. Every year, they work their butts off to learn all these songs.
Yeah.
For these library shows.
Yeah.
And a couple thousand people show up and they just live for that all year long.
Yeah.
They really get excited.
Yeah.
Me, not so much.
Yeah.
Like every year I have to come up with a new idea and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
we
Right.
did the Beatles, we did Woodstock, we
Right.
did, what
Yeah. What are we gonna do now?
What are we doing now?
Yeah.
I think we've been doing it about almost 10 years now,
Yeah.
doing the library show.
Yeah.
And
But it's a tribute to your brother.
this year
Yeah.
it's a tribute to my brother and the Pikers, the
Yeah.
band that I was in before the Sharks.
Yeah.
And the idea was to get some of the remaining members of the Pikers that are still around to play some songs.
Yeah.
That didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not feeling up to it.
Yeah.
God bless them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be pretty much. I'm kind of winging it this year, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's a tribute to my brother, so I want it to be good because he was a huge influence on me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, between Sam, Luger, and my brother, that was the two that really got me going.
Yeah. So you were with Sean in the Pikers. And
Yep.
So, I always say on this podcast, my role in all this, because although I tried, I can't sing, I can't dance, and I can't hold a tune, and I can't play an instrument. But my role in all this, what I've always been, is the fan. And you and I were talking. We're almost exactly 10 years apart. So, what I remember, and please correct me along the way if I'm wrong, but basically, the
You think
Pikers.
I'm going to remember?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right.
right.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, if you recollect something that is, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
the 80s, I had a really good time.
Yeah.
What I remember of
What
the
do you
80s.
remember of
Yeah,
the 80s?
what I
Yeah,
remember,
what about the
yes.
80s? The Pikers were more like the Pikers and the Sharks were kind of in the same genre.
Yep.
Of kind of like the
New wave
punk. Yeah,
New
right.
wave punk, like Elvis Costello,
Sure.
The Clash.
Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
B-52s,
Yeah.
whatever the heck was.
Yeah.
My brother would always pick out the songs.
Right.
And I had some of my preferences back in the day.
Yeah.
I was a huge Jam fan. The band The Jam with
Mm-hmm.
Paul Weller. Still am.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite bands
Yeah.
of all time. I think probably my favorite band,
Yeah.
beside the Beatles, of course.
Right.
But my brother would pick out the material. We'd go from like the Zombies to the B-52s
Yeah.
to Gary Newman
Right.
to Elvis Costello. And it was just very cool music to be throwing at people. And it caught on like gangbusters,
Yeah.
really quick.
Yeah.
We're playing this little dive bar out in Rutherford called Little Joe's, and we'd go on after the strippers were done.
And you were how old?
18,
Yeah.
17.
Oh.
I don't even know. Maybe yeah.
It was a good
very
time.
young.
Good time to be a young American.
Way too young.
Yeah, right.
I was learning quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, no.
Yeah.
Nothing against those sweet girls, but
Right.
they were rough. They were so sweet.
Yeah.
But they were rough.
But
Anyway.
So the Pikers were in the same genre as the Sharks. The Pikers were more Harrisburg, capital area based, and the Sharks were Lancaster based.
Lancaster.
And is it fair to say that the two bands were rivals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
we
you're
actually
the
play-
Pikers and they're the Sharks, and
Yeah, so we played like a show in Mechanicsburg. I think it was at the VFW, a big place
Yeah.
in Mechanicsburg, a big room, and it was the Pikers and the Sharks playing at the same time. You know, we exchanged sets. We were on either side of the stage, and that was a big deal. It was a big night because we were kind of rivals.
Yeah.
And I had seen the Sharks play once before that at the TMI Lounge, I think it was in Middletown or High Spire
Yeah.
over there. So, and I saw them, and I went, oh, I saw Sammy, and I went, wow.
Yeah, Sam Luger, right.
Oh, I just
Lead
went,
singer,
oh.
yeah.
I said, these guys
Yeah.
got some
Yeah.
stuff. And they got original songs too, which really that's what I was after.
Yeah.
And the Pikers we didn't write any songs. We were just doing covers. And so I wanted that. I wanted to, you know.
You wanted to be a songwriter.
Sam and I hit it off great.
Yeah.
And my brother had some issues going on, so it was time to
Yeah.
cut off I put my brother in rehab, and
Yeah.
I joined the Sharks because they asked me to join, and
Didn't look back.
There you go.
Yeah. That would have been about 1980. 1980? Yeah,
Yeah.
1980. Yeah, you and I were talking, and we got talking about Steve Whiteman and Kix and your connection to him and writing songs with him. But, you know, again, my role as the fan, I mean, I could just tell you. So I grew up in Lancaster County, and I went to Penn Manor High School. But, I mean, you know, when you were 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I mean, in terms of the local bands, and I get that Kix was Hagerstown, Maryland, but they had already gotten pretty, you know, big and regional.
I love those guys.
Yeah, in those days, man, it was the Sharks and it was Kix, and
I remember the Sharks and the Kicks played City Island
yeah,
back when they were just starting to do concerts on City Island.
yeah,
And we just hit it off right off the bat. I love Steve and Brian, just like
yeah,
Brian and Ronnie are two of my favorite guitar players in the freaking world.
criminally underrated.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and the way they play off each other.
The thing is,
Yeah.
you don't have to do all this stuff. Yeah,
Right.
it's more like, you know.
Very Aerosmith-esque,
Oh,
to be honest
yeah,
with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
And Steve was always a sweetheart. Donnie was even sweet to me.
Yeah.
All the guys were fantastic. We got along. The Sharks and the Kicks got along great, which
Yeah.
was cool back in the '80s, because a lot of bands had like animosity towards
Sure.
each other, which was bull.
Yeah.
You don't need that crap.
Yeah, and you were both, you know, at that stage, I think, in your career where you were thinking, hey, the sky here is the limit. So
Well,
they're,
yeah,
they're, it's a healthy competition.
we both got signed
Yeah.
around the same time
Yeah.
to the major labels, and
Yeah.
my God, it was all just happening for this area
Yeah.
at that time. I mean, there was things happening around the area.
Yeah.
I mean, what other band before that from this area was actually doing anything, you know, except for maybe Danny Hartman from the Legends,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, not to that level. I
Yeah,
mean,
like when he
yeah.
joined the Edgar Winter group,
Right.
Danny Hartman, that was huge.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, there wasn't a whole lot coming out of this area.
Yeah.
There wasn't much.
Well, and the thing too is that, you know, and people that grew up here that remember all of that, I mean, you know, humbly, you guys were sold out everywhere you went, night after night. You guys had just the most incredible, rabid, most dedicated fans.
Yes, we
that would
did.
just go and see you everywhere all the time.
Thank
Like,
God.
Yeah, I mean, even when you guys would branch out a little bit more and maybe go down to like DC or, you know, like, you had a contingent of fans.
It was just,
that
you know,
just-
Baltimore,
yeah,
you know,
right.
the whole, and the beach during the summer. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
they would not miss a gig.
And
yeah.
we were playing 6 nights a week at
Yeah,
least.
yeah.
Maybe 7 sometimes.
Yeah.
It was just a constant, just bang, bang, bang. You
Yeah.
know? That's why it was kind of a blur after a while. You know,
Yeah.
Like all musicians say that are on tour, playing all the time. It
Yeah.
just turns into a blur after
Yeah.
a while. It's just like,
Yeah.
what do you remember from the '80s, Shay?
Yeah. Well, I I try not to fanboy Shay, but
Yeah.
you got to give me a moment here because I can remember like 6th or 7th grade, and I've told you this before. You guys played an all ages club in Lancaster that was called Rick's Place,
Yeah.
which was a happening place,
Yeah.
in the early 80s.
Very groovy.
And I can remember like literally, you had to get there early because it was going to be at capacity, like fire code capacity. I can remember waiting like 2 hours to get in to see you guys, to see
Crazy.
the Sharks play at Rick's Place. And
Just like the Metron
yeah.
for their underage shows were just so crazy.
or downstairs at Galifte's. Yeah.
They'd
yeah.
be lined up
out the stairwell.
street.
Yeah. So for me, it's
Good
pretty
old
cool.
days.
Pretty cool. Here we sit in 2025. If you could have told
And I'm
me,
old.
yeah,
And I'm old, buddy.
But you're alive.
Yes.
yeah. And
They're
still
dropping
do-
like flies, buddy. Everyone's
Yeah,
dropping like
I
flies.
know.
That's
Every
why
time-
I'm at the gym every day.
Yeah.
You're taking up my gym time right now. What the hell?
Apologize.
It's all right. I'm kidding, buddy. Yeah, I played last. Of course, I played last night. I play
Yeah.
every night, and I'm playing tonight.
Yeah.
And this month is going to be a tough month, and as you can hear, my voice is a
Yeah.
little rough already. So
Yeah.
we got the library show next week, and then we got the two.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the two sold out Bowie shows.
Yeah.
We're gonna close that chapter out.
Yeah.
Close
Yeah.
that chapter
Yeah.
out. You know.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they, think about Remember the Sharks, I'm gonna bring up your favorite topic: winning MTV
No.
basement tapes. And I have to apologize to you because I'm one of the kids that dialed and dialed and dialed.
We were all
and
dialing,
and
buddy.
dialed and dialed.
We were all
and dialed
dialing.
and dialed.
Well, I wasn't dialing.
Yeah,
but
right.
I was at
Yeah.
a party where
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
was just kept
Yeah,
dialing.
Yeah. So this is
And-
85, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Famously, the Sharks, MTV basement tapes. Talk about how all of that came
That was
about.
like what all these shows that are on now, America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
That was like the big, huge thing in the '80s.
Really good way of putting
The
it. yeah.
basement tapes
Yep.
was like the talent
Yeah.
show of the '80s, before American Idol and all that crap, and we thought it was a really good idea,
Why wouldn't you?
We
MTV exposure at that point in time.
oh
in
my God, we went
1985
out and
was-
made this black
was-
and white video.
Yeah.
We got my girlfriend at the time to be in the video, and she turned out to be one of the top models in the world.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did this black and white video, and we sent it in, and it just started taking off. I mean, they'd have like contests like every month or so. Like they put 5 new bands, and we kept moving up and moving up and moving up. And the thing was, you had to sign the record contract before.
There was the
There's
the hidden trick. Yeah.
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 So you had to sign the contract before.
And this was with Elektra, correct?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
had to sign the contract to be a part of the contest.
It was like a 5-song EP or
Yeah.
6-song EP, and a video,
Yeah.
a professional video, and a studio. We won a studio, and that kind of stuff. And you had to sign it ahead of time. So as we kept progressing up the, we kept winning every
Yeah.
week, and then the record label started coming around and trying to get us before it all happened, and we had already signed that contract.
One problem. You
Yeah,
already signed
we
to
already
Elektra.
signed that contract.
Yeah.
And it was a crappy contract.
Yeah.
It was really lousy.
Yeah.
But we were just, like I was telling you on the way up, Sam
Yeah.
and I were just in it. We just wanted to write songs. We
Yeah.
just wanted to play music. You know, we were making $350 a week.
Right.
You know, I saw Steve Whiteman said, I was making 500. I said, I was making 350, buddy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
350 a week.
350. And everybody thought you were a rich
They
rock
thought
star.
I had so much money.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
Yeah.
350 a week.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And, you know, so then we ended up winning the whole thing, which was incredible. And one of my idols,
Yeah.
Todd Rundgren, he goes, and the winners are the Sharks from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I went, oh, my idol is just,
Yeah.
so great. So, yeah, and then when we won the contest, all the labels went away because they knew that we had already signed that lousy label,
Yeah.
lousy contract.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were high on the hog for a while. We were, you know, the video was on, it was in the #1 position every day at 5. They had that 10 videos at 5.
Sure.
And we were #1 for like 8 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And, you know, it should have gone better if
Yeah.
the label would have gotten behind us.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like Kicks.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
they
Kiss.
had them. It was Atlantic Records.
That was
really
Atlantic, yep.
just
And
yeah. Yeah.
they didn't get behind us.
Yeah.
You know, they should have,
Yeah.
but they didn't. You know.
Yeah.
They just thought, oh, it's a contest winner, so
Yeah.
you know, just give them the lousy
Yeah.
contract and let them go.
Yeah.
They didn't even try, you know.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time.
Yeah.
I got to meet wonderful people and play with great bands, play with a lot of my idols.
Sure.
You know, we played with everybody.
Yeah.
Great bands, you know, play with so many people. But, you know,
Yeah.
it was a good time.
Yeah.
But in hindsight,
Sure. Now,
can you go back? No,
Yeah,
you can't go
can't.
back.
Yeah.
You just go forward.
Yeah.
And you don't try not to bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try not to bitch.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. You and I, we had a conversation about a year ago, and I was asking you about that, and you said something to me that turned a light on in my head to where I never would have thought of it in this regard. And I hope you don't mind me sharing this conversation, but I don't think you will. I just happened to say to you, so you and I were talking, and it was at a gig, and somebody came up and said, you know, Shay, you know, I just want to tell you I'm a big fan, you know, and I love the Sharks, and and man, you guys got screwed over. You guys should have made
Shoulda,
it.
coulda, woulda.
Yeah, you guys should have, you know,
Yeah.
done it. Yeah. And then you were really nice to the guy, polite, whatever, and he walked away. And I said to you, I was like, do you ever get tired of, and you were really frank with me, and you said, you know, there was a time when that actually did kind of bother me, you know, and you're like, but now, and I thought this was really sweet. You said, I'll be walking through the mall with my granddaughter, and she'll be like, Pop, you know, Pap, or is it Pappy, Pop? Yeah.
Pop.
Yeah, Pop. I thought it was Pop. She's Pop, you know, why do these people come up to you? Why do they talk to you? Why do they, you know, and you're like, you know what, now, like, enough time has passed, you know, I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know?
Oh, I mean, I can't bitch about nothing,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
You know, so many great artists out there who deserve so much more and got nothing.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So many great artists that got nothing.
Yeah,
And we worked really hard. I mean, you can't take that away. The Sharks worked our asses off.
yeah,
We played, you know, 6, 7 nights a week. We pushed and we pushed and we pushed.
Yeah.
And we kept writing songs and writing songs and writing songs. And I look back now and people, you know, this shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, I know. Things could have gone better.
yeah,
But I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and
Yeah.
I'm still playing music.
all the time.
And
You're still a working
still
musician.
playing 5, 6 nights a week. And, you know,
Still
had
haven't
all-
gotten that day job. yeah, right.
I couldn't do it, buddy.
Right,
There's
right.
no way.
Right.
I tried it
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah.
Didn't work out so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried it. I said, I love you guys.
Yeah.
I could make more in one night than I could make here in 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I can't do this
I
anymore.
can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Well,
you guys. Because I had a daughter, and my daughter Piper, she's out in L.A. She's so brilliant and so talented, and it used to bother her a little bit back in like when we'd be walking around.
Yeah.
It would get on because she just wanted her dad to herself.
Absolutely.
And
Everybody
It
knows
was
you,
it was
man.
worse back then.
Yeah.
Now it's not so bad. I
Yeah.
mean, she goes, why does everyone,
Yeah.
my granddaughter says,
Yeah.
why does everybody know you,
Yeah.
Papa? But back then it was like all the time.
Yeah.
You couldn't get
Yeah.
6 feet down
Yeah.
any place
Yeah.
without someone stop. And it used to get on my daughter's nerves.
Sure.
It really did. She just wanted me to herself. And but I can't bitch
Yeah.
about anything. I'm still playing music.
Yeah.
I'm still going. My best friends are gone,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Power through, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Power through.
I after we had that conversation, I thought to myself, so in my own in my own little world, just really made me think and see things from your perspective, and a perspective that I don't think I ever would have, and I don't think a lot of fans would have. But in my own little stupid world, so I grew up here. My whole thing was, once I kind of got turned on to being a broadcaster, like, okay, that's what I want to do. I want to be a broadcaster, and
You've got to get stopped everywhere too.
it happens.
Yeah.
But this is kind of part of the story, is that I'm really all I ever really wanted to do was to do this and do it here, because this is where I'm from. My parents still live 2 miles from me. It's important. Like I really never had greater aspirations. But when people come up to me and they meet me and they just say, "Wow, we watch you, whatever." Nobody then says to me, "Boy, you could have been something. You should have been on the Today Show. You're better than Al Roker."
Right, right.
They stop and they just say they're just appreciative for me, and they say, "Hey, we watch," or whatever, or we used to listen to you on the radio, whatever, and that's the end of it.
You're damn good at what you do, brother.
Thank you, I
You're damn
appreciate
good.
that. But you always get to hear yeah, but you guys shoulda. Yeah,
The Sharks really deserved it. They
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah.
And
performance-wise.
poop happens.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, right, yeah. Music-wise, everything.
It's a very
Yeah,
like talking to Kicks and
yeah,
and just talking to other bands that were just right on the edge and
Yeah.
just got picked the wrong road or whatever,
Yeah.
or someone didn't support them enough.
Yeah.
But the thing I can't bitch about is the fans have always been there. We're
Yeah.
always there for us.
yeah,
I mean, just packing every place, and
Yeah.
and they stuck with us, and the corporate stuff,
Yeah.
you can't really control that,
yeah. So that actually, if you can, and do it to the level of where you're comfortable. I know it's been a number of years now, but and it's been really cool. You guys have done some Shark stuff with Sam's son Ian, but talk about Sam. Yeah, which I knew. I obviously I knew Sam. Anybody that knew Sam knew what a sweetheart of a guy he was, and just
Couldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah, just the nicest guy in the world. But talk a little bit about Sam and those years and your relationship with Sam. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know he was your musical brother.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I'm going to take a drink.
Yeah, yeah. Again, to the level where you're comfortable.
He and I
Yeah,
hit it
yeah.
off right off the bat,
Yeah,
like brothers.
yeah,
And songwriting wise, we were just like,
yeah,
not to put us in the same category as Lennon McCartney, but we
Right.
just sit across. He'd come over to the apartment, I'd go over to his house. We just sit across from each other and we just bang ideas
Yeah,
off each
yeah.
other. I mean, some of our most popular songs, like On My Own, Holiday,
yeah,
were written one afternoon in his living room. He had this little battery-powered Casio keyboard, like this big.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there strumming on his electric guitar, and he played this little, like the holiday riff on his Casio.
Yeah. What's that?
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So he started going there, and it's just like, he couldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah.
He was the sweetest guy in the world,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I miss him horribly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame that we lost him. Complications of cancer sucks, man. Like what
Lung
can you
cancer,
say?
yeah, it was horrible.
What can you say?
Yeah.
What can you say?
It pissed me off.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's talk about some happy stuff.
Please.
Yeah, because Ian, his son,
Sounds just like his pop.
I know, isn't it
Yep.
crazy?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's as close as we're gonna get. Listen to my voice.
Yeah.
It's as close.
You
When
and Peter.
it's time
I was
to
in you and Peter Brady. Yeah,
change.
yeah,
We're gonna do the Brady Bunch
yeah.
now.
Right. Yeah,
Peter
but
Brady.
oh my God, it's remarkable.
And
how
I'm
much,
gonna sing tonight.
yeah, it's remarkable how much Ian sounds like.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, even his mannerisms, the way he plays guitar, the way he walks, the way he moves.
Yeah.
He's definitely Sam's son, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I said this before. The first time I showed up for rehearsal with Ian after Sam had passed away, I walked into Steve Zero's house and I heard this voice coming up out of the basement, and it sounded just like Sam.
Yeah.
And I said, that's
Yeah.
freaking me out.
Yeah.
And he really sounds a whole lot like his
Yeah.
pop.
Yeah.
And he has the same vocal range.
Yeah.
He plays guitar the same way.
Yeah.
So it's great to have him.
Yeah. Yeah.
There. It's
Yeah.
great to have him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's thanks for sharing that. I just think that a lot of folks are going to tune into this that are Sharks fans. Thanks for talking a little bit about Sam.
Yeah,
I know it's not
that was
easy for you,
great.
man.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. So, getting beyond the Sharks, you had that whole period. Well, tell me about when you started working with Jeffrey Gaines. That would have been...
Sharks were going really well.
Yeah.
And this character walked into the Metron, and he was standing by. I didn't realize, but he used to come out and see the Pikers. He used to sit outside the back door
Yeah.
at Little Joe's and listen to us play.
Yeah.
And I was getting off stage, playing with the Sharks at the Metron. It was packed. He's standing by the dressing room door. He had a he was just in a car accident or something. He had a black patch on his eye. Looked pretty intimidating, actually.
Sure.
And I was going into the dressing room, and he said, "Hey." I went, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
He said, "I'm Jeffrey Gaines." I said, "I'm Shea Quinn."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
And somehow we got into a conversation, and he said he gave me a cassette tape of a bunch of songs
Yeah.
that, like, some were covers, incredible covers,
Mm-hmm.
and some were original songs. And I went, wow, may not be everybody's bag, but I think his voice is one of the better voices out there,
Sure.
one of the best.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill him quite a few times, but that's beside the point.
Right.
I still love him.
Yeah.
I still love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we hit it off. We had a nice conversation. He gave me a cassette tape. I loved it. I called him. We got together over at my place in Mountaindale, and I played him 4 songs that I'm not great. I always question myself when it comes to lyrics.
Sure.
I always I write something, and that's what Sam was a big part of it. Sam would just write something. That's it.
Yeah.
I'd write something, then I'd go the next day. Go, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And so I had these 4 songs: "Love Disappears," "You Believe in Me," "What It Is," and "Closer." And we sat in my living room and played around, and I think we recorded them just on a cassette player in front of us. And he took them home, and like the next day, he had the lyrics.
Yeah.
And he came over and sang the lyrics to me, and I was just like, well, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the titles,
Right.
and I had the melody pretty much, and I wrote the music to it, but he just put a spin. He said he put it, at the time anyway, he changes his story a little bit sometimes, but he said he put himself in my place and just kind of was like speaking like
Yeah.
the songs were coming from me.
Right.
And wrote beautiful lyrics. "Love Disappears" is, I mean, I've written thousands of songs, but I still love that one.
Mm-hmm.
I still love "What It Is." I think the best songs I've written, I wrote some good ones with Sam too.
Yeah.
But
Some of the best songs you've written
Yeah.
were with Jeffrey. Yeah.
yeah, some of
Yeah.
the best songs I've written have been with like "You Believe in Me," "Love Disappears," "What It Is."
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic songs.
Yeah. They're your babies. They're your
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some songs when people ask me to play like old Shark songs, I go,
Yeah.
oh God,
Yeah.
what was I thinking when I
Yeah,
wrote that song?
yeah.
Like, I'm a bit touched in the head.
Yeah.
You know, it was cool
Yeah.
for the time.
Yeah.
It was very new wave.
Right.
It's kind of hard to do it now because it's
Right.
like kind of quirky and
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a song
Yeah.
that you can, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Neil Peart famously did not want to play or do "Closer to the Heart," and for a long time, like they would play, and that would be out of the set list. It was because he would kind of no. And
Did he write the lyrics to that one?
He wrote the lyrics to pretty much everything once he got in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And you know,
You can tell.
yeah,
From that first
yeah,
record
for
to the second one.
Yeah, it goes.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
But I thought this was always a great line when somebody said to him, "How could Closer to the Heart is one of your biggest songs? It's one of the band's biggest songs," and he said, "To me, it's like, when you're like 6 years old and you draw a drawing in crayon of the sun and whatever, and your parents love it and they think it's wonderful and they put it on the refrigerator." He's like, for me, he's like, that's what it feels like when you
Right.
go back. He goes, I'm not in that headspace anymore.
That's so cool the way
Yeah.
you put. That's a great
that's
story.
what it kind of reminded me of. It's like, if you actually wrote and authored that song, and then people say, you got to play it, and you go, man, that was a certain point in time in my life where I wrote it about somebody or how I was feeling, and you're just like, I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah. Like the song I was talking about, I'm
Yeah.
a bit touched. It was like, I was in a kind of a quirky state. I was listening to XTC, which I loved.
Yeah.
I loved them.
XTC, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, they were so great. Andy Partridge and
Mm-hmm.
the guys. We're only making plans for Nigel. Great stuff. And I was just in a quirky mood, and I wrote this weird song. I'm a bit touched.
Yeah.
And it went over well with the audience.
Yeah.
But now I go, that's the weird ass song.
Yeah.
Shay. And I don't know where it came from, but
Yeah.
it just comes out of you.
Yeah.
Songwriting is such an odd, wonderful, and painful thing too.
Yeah.
It can be painful, frustrating,
Yeah.
but when it's working, it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah. So you had this great connection with Jeffrey, and that kind of, not to put words in your mouth, led to, I'll let you tell the story, but that for a time kind of ended your tenure with the Sharks.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't someone
Yeah.
in the band didn't like the fact that I was doing shows
Yeah.
with Jeffrey, and I was writing songs with Jeffrey, and we were getting, attention. We were getting on cover of magazines and stuff, and someone didn't like that.
Yeah.
And,
Stuff happens.
I kind of get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like that, but
Yeah.
stuff happens.
Yeah.
And I was given like an ultimatum, like it's either
You're either with us or you're
you're
with
the
him.
Sharks
Yeah.
or
yeah.
you're gonna go
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And like I've said before,
Yeah.
ultimatums don't work very well with me.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
have.
Right.
Never will.
Yeah.
Never will.
Yeah.
Not with a Quinn. Not with
Yeah.
an Irish bastard like me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I went,
Okay.
see it.
Yeah.
And Sam, till the day he died, he said, Shay, that was the worst decision I ever let happen
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah.
Is letting that happen.
Yeah.
I should have just called it.
Yeah.
So the Sharks got some fantastic bass player who looked like me, had my hair,
Yeah.
spun around like me.
Right.
Incredible bass player, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Great.
Right.
But people weren't buying it.
Right.
They weren't buying it.
Yeah.
And it went about, I guess, 8 months and they were done.
Yeah.
So I go off and I'm playing with Jeffrey, and I anyway, we got
You got a record.
record interest
Yeah.
from Chrysalis,
label interest.
and
yeah. But you knew some
we
people.
we had put out a single, like Shea Quinn, Jeffrey Gaines,
Yeah.
a single. It did really well. We got lots of press, lots of interest. Everyone kind of knew it was kind of a weird combination. I loved it. He loved it, but
Yeah.
there was something, we both had our own things going on too. So that did really well. And then we got label interest, and Chrysalis offered us a deal, and Jeffrey decided that he wanted to be a solo artist.
Right.
I left my band.
Yeah.
I left the Sharks,
And now you're leaving me.
and
Yeah.
and we wrote these great songs.
Yeah.
And the songs that we wrote are pretty much the reason why these
Yeah.
labels are interested.
Yeah.
And, I was hurt,
Yeah.
So I packed my bags. I took I got a songwriting deal, a publishing deal with Chrysalis. They took him as a solo artist, which was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I went to London. I said, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here.
Clear your head.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
I don't, it was just too much.
Yeah.
And the Sharks, Jeffrey,
Yeah.
get me
Everything.
out of here.
Yeah,
So I had
yeah.
the best time of my life in London for quite a long time, for quite
Yeah.
a few months,
Yeah.
longer than that. But
Yeah.
until the visa ran out. But
Yeah.
had the best time of my life. So it was good for me to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. Get
Then
out
I-
of the fishbowl.
Then I
Yeah.
came home and,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I put together, Clockwork and other
Yeah.
bands that
Yeah.
I did.
Well, let's talk about Jet Silver.
Jet
know?
Silver's the coolest band ever. And,
Yeah.
some people get it. And out of all the records I've made, which has been quite a few, I love the Jet Silver record the best.
That first Jet Silver record, which mid-90s, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I want to say like
Yeah.
95.
Yeah,
Sound
somewhere
about
around
right?
there.
Yeah, yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
around since the 80s, but
Right.
I joined, I guess, 90 something.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
90. And Joe Klein, I wrote songs with him
Yeah.
for the record, the CD. But I'll tell you, that man is a genius.
Yeah.
A songwriter. He's been doing this for a long time. And,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
he was underground.
Yeah.
He's like like the punk rock of Lancaster.
Yep.
But I mean, punk rock songs with the most amazing lyrics.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what he was saying half
And
the time.
and I thought it had really good melody too.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Not the best singer.
Right.
He knows it.
Yeah. But that was kind of the secret sauce of Jet Silver.
And then
I
the
thought.
thing was,
Yeah.
Since I was a singer in the Sharks,
Yeah.
and people would come out and see Jet Silver, why aren't you singing it? Well, I'm singing backups
Mm-hmm.
because, he's the front man. He's the one writing the songs. He's Jet Silver. And that is the best CD. So if you get a chance to find a Jet Silver CD,
Yeah.
buy it.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Guitar-wise, writing-wise, vocals, the backup vocals are beautiful, just incredible.
Yeah, we were talking, on our way down here to shoot this episode, and that's one thing I did not know about. I mean, I assume you're proud of, most of the things that you've done. I didn't realize you were that proud of that record.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it. You told
One of
me
the
you're like
best.
it's one of my favorite things I've ever done.
Yeah, I could listen to that. And we were talking about like records that like
You don't
every
skip
song.
you don't skip a song. Yeah, yeah.
Like
Back in Black. Yeah, yeah. You don't skip a song.
Like
Yeah.
Ziggy.
Like Ziggy
the-
Stardust.
the-
Yeah.
Every song
Yeah.
is just great.
Yeah.
And every song on that Jet Silver record, I could listen to all day long.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah.
Some records, that's the way records used to be. They used to be like always usually the first record,
Yeah.
had all their good
Because
songs.
they'd worked all that
they worked
time
all that
to-
time.
yeah,
Then
here's-
we got to put out a new record now.
Uh-oh.
Same thing happened with the Sharks.
Yeah,
believe me.
yeah.
Same
yeah.
thing happened.
And you got three
Boom,
months. You got 3 months
this.
to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you got
Yeah.
you and Sam have to write a song now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And it's got to be a
It's
hit.
not that great.
Yeah, it's got to be three.
not that great.
It's got to be less than 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
For radio.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. It's got to have a great hook.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
did with the Electra record that came out from the
Yeah.
Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that we did on our own were so much better than we. I mean, the producer was a nice guy and
But
everything.
didn't they take you to like the record plant?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you
Oh,
went
well-
to, you were in New York City,
Oh.
and this is very interesting to me. So you feel that the first EP on Elektra that the Sharks did as a result of winning Basement Tapes, you didn't really care for the
No.
sound of production. Wow.
Best studios in
Wow.
the world.
Wow. Yeah,
Best studios in the world.
You were at the record plant.
And
Yeah.
the
they turned the knobs
first
wrong.
EP,
Yeah.
the holiday EP was done
Yeah.
in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, much better sounding. And the one we did at the warehouse, that's where we met. We were recording at the same time that Bon Jovi was.
Sure.
And that's where I met Richie Sambora, who's
Right.
sweetest guy
Yeah.
in the effing world.
Yeah.
So sweet. And Richie and I really hit it off.
Yeah.
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 Hanging out with him was
Yeah.
an adventure. Oh,
Well, especially back in the day.
sometimes I just had to go, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm out, buddy.
I'm out.
I love you.
I
I'm
love
out.
you. I love you, but I'm getting off
I
the
gotta
roller
go.
coaster. Yeah, I'm getting off the roller coaster.
Oh, I got to get off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
let's talk a little bit about a lot of people that tune into this that aren't as old as you and I
yeah.
are big fans of the Love Gods, man. And that's
But we do Shark songs. And
super
we do,
fun band,
And we
man.
do, yeah. You get to a point where you got, I didn't want to get a real job.
Yeah.
I put and
And you get to do it with friends.
these guys called me up.
Yeah.
And these guys called me up, and I said, I really don't have any desire to do a cover band.
Yeah.
I really don't have any desire.
Right.
They talked me into at least coming over. So I came over to this place in Mechanicsburg, and this garage door opens. And there stands Steve Swisher.
Yep. The legend.
Oh, my
man.
God.
He's
He's like, oh, boy,
Yeah,
we're
I know.
going to kick
Yeah, I
so
know.
much ass."
I know.
And you can't say no to Swish.
Swish is
you
the
can't.
best. Swish is
You love him.
Swish is the greatest guy
He's
ever.
like the bad dog that you have that you still
Yeah,
love.
I know.
Yeah, he's just all over you.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
God.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and he talked me into it.
Yeah. Well, I can see why.
Yeah.
He's such a
He's
good
very
guy.
persuasive and
And a talented guy too. Let's not forget.
Great.
Yeah.
Weirdest drummer in the world, but fantastic.
Yeah.
He's left-handed and he plays
He's
a
very
right-handed kid.
He's very Ringo-esque.
Yeah, it's
in his
very
in
odd.
his in his way. Yeah.
It's very odd.
The first thing I noticed when I saw him, I was like, oh, it's Ringo.
Yeah.
He's lefty playing a right-handed
Yeah.
kid. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's hard to say no to him.
Yeah.
And then
he's a good guy.
20 years later, the
Yeah.
Love Gods are still going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the only, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind. You know, we're doing cover songs that I like. You know,
Yeah.
well, I used to like. Now that
Yeah.
I've played them so many times, I hate them. But
Right.
you know, but you know, we do stuff like Badfinger and
Sure.
cool stuff, and we do Shark songs, which is fun, which keeps the Sharks fans
Yeah.
happy.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. No.
you got to make a living.
Yeah,
you know?
it's fun. It's a great band, and I just have to tell you this. You didn't even know I was there. Not that you should have, but I saw you guys at Club XL, and it was like 3 months after Eddie Van Halen died. And you know, I was a big Van Halen guy. I mean, we all were at some
Oh,
point in
yeah.
time. Yeah, who wasn't? And came in, and you opened with a Van Halen song, and you opened with "Ain't Talking About Love."
Wow.
And you know, you sang lead, and I just remember, like, I almost started crying, dude. Like because I was serious, because I was like, because I know those guys enough to know that, like, they're doing this because Eddie Van Halen just died,
Yeah.
and you know, and they know that's going to go over well, and whatever, you know. And you got to the hey, yeah. It was like, oh, it just, like, music is motion. And,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
it is, man.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Love Gods have changed members
Sure.
quite a bit over the years.
Yeah.
Sal Saunders, one of my favorite guitar players,
Yeah.
left. He you know, I'm old, buddy. Just like Steve Whiteman says,
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Shay, I'm old.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to keep it going, and I'm at the gym every day, but, you know,
You're starting to see that finish line.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why we're stopping the Bowie show.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to take it out with a fizzle.
Yeah.
I want to take it out while we're still good at it.
Yeah. While you're selling out 2 nights.
Yeah, selling
And,
out 2
you know,
nights.
You know, leave them
And-
wanting more.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah.
You know.
Don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Just I don't want to be that decrepit
Yeah.
person.
Okay. Well, you're not.
Oh,
not yet.
I'm getting close.
Not yet. But
getting close.
you're still, like, it's amazing to me. Like, and again, we've had this conversation too, and I just go, man, like, you know, God bless, God love you, brother. I mean, you're playing so much still.
Oh.
Yeah, like you know, but you know, you're still in demand, and
I love when people say,
Yeah.
say to me, well, at least you're doing something you love, Shay.
some nights I don't.
I loved it 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
some nights I don't. Yeah,
Some nights, you know, I have to put on the face like, I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah.
I put on the face like
yeah,
my job is to make these people happy,
yeah,
even though
yeah,
I'm not feeling it.
yeah,
And I got to turn it on.
yeah,
And I never, ever wanted to be a front man. I always had
Yeah.
Sam. I had my brother. I had Jeffrey.
yeah,
There was always someone out in front of me.
yes,
I was always the quiet one on stage.
yeah,
Like, I didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, you know, I'll be
Yeah.
the mysterious guy.
Yeah.
I'm not talking on the mic.
yeah,
I'll sing a song,
right.
but I'm not talking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be, hey everybody,
Yeah.
hello
And now,
Cleveland.
everyone's gone. So
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
now I got to talk, and I got to be like a front man, which
Yeah.
I never wanted to be.
Yeah.
Ever.
Let me ask you this though. So, on those nights where it's Tuesday night and it's and you're like, okay, it's 4 o'clock and I don't really want to, and I kind of have to tell them. Now, you get there, you start playing, you
The
get
people
into,
get me going, buddy. They do.
That's
the
exactly
people get
where
me
I was
going.
going.
And the
Yeah.
songs, sometimes,
Yeah.
some songs don't get me going.
Yeah.
But if someone asks for a song that, I truly love,
Yeah.
and I start playing, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Like I'll play Baby Blue by Badfinger. Then
Yeah.
someone, do a Badfinger song.
Yeah.
I go, oh,
Yeah.
I like you.
Yeah.
And then every night you get to a show, you have to read the audience. You have
Yeah.
to look over.
Sure.
It's turned into an art
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
You look out and you go, like with the Love Gods.
Yeah.
You look out over an audience or an acoustic show.
Yeah.
You look out and say, what do I think these people want to hear?
I did that when I was a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Do they want
What's
to hear
gonna work?
my songs?
Yeah.
Do they want to hear Shark songs?
Yeah.
They want to hear Frank Sinatra? I have to
right.
check it all out.
Or are we busting out Margaritaville?
Yeah. That happened last night.
Yeah,
Didn't
right.
make me happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I was waiting to hear, play a
Yeah.
Shark song.
Yeah.
Margaritaville.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody cue up Billy Joel's The Entertainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
And I
So,
love when they, nothing against you folks.
Yeah.
And they always ask for Elton John or Billy Joel. I said,
Yeah.
it's a guitar.
Yeah. Right.
Then I go, sing me a song, I'm the guitar man. What the hell? Whatever I have to do. Yeah, I'm just a musical whore anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You have your heyday, you have your wonderful years.
Yeah.
I got Medicare now, buddy.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, I got Medicare now.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm just happy that I'm still doing it.
Doing it. Yeah.
And my voice, not today, but
Yeah.
my voice is still there and it still works.
Yeah.
And my fingers are curling up, but they're
Yeah.
still working.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah.
There's going to come a day
Yeah.
where I'm
Yeah.
just going to say, I can't do this anymore.
All right, here I go again. As voice of the fan, but the reason the reason that you are the ability to do something that a lot of bands can't do and a lot of artists can't do, and that's to, if you wanted to, play 6-7 nights a week, is because of your audience, because of who you are,
Yeah.
because of how people in this area feel about you. You don't need me to tell you this, but you are a super blessed guy when it comes to the way people feel about you. And people
Yes,
know
I
you
am.
personally because of the fact that you're out there so much. You're
I try
you're a
not to
lucky
be an
guy,
ass,
man.
buddy. I try hard.
It's hard when so many people come up to you all the time.
It's all right.
Yeah.
If it wasn't there, I might miss it. You
Yeah.
know? If no one knew who the hell I was, that could be bad.
Have you thought about that? Have you thought about
Yeah, I
walking
thought
away?
about it.
Have you thought about walking
If
away
I
and
if
what
I
that
walked,
would mean?
and
Yeah.
no one knew who,
Yeah.
I'd go, wait
Wait a second.
hold on, what happened?
Yeah, this is who I am. I've had the same thought about when I retire and walk away.
Yeah.
And I've thought okay, am I gonna be okay being Steve Knight going fishing with his grandkids
Exactly.
and nobody gives a dead rat's rump about
know.
what I do or wants
I've
to talk
thought
about
about
being
that.
on TV?
I've thought about these things, my friend.
Yeah.
I've thought about this,
am
my
I,
brother.
am I going to be okay with that? Yeah, because
I'm hanging on. I'm
part of this
hanging
is-
on.
Part of this is ego, man. Part of it, and you're a grounded guy, but there's a part of that is always.
Yeah, I'm grounded.
It's all you've ever been, though, is Shay
Yeah.
Quinn since you were 18.
It's been a long 45 some
Yeah,
years,
right.
maybe more.
Right.
And
Can you just be an old
And
guy?
I get attention, which is
yeah.
beautiful.
Right.
I mean,
But
of course,
sometimes
of
it's
course
like,
it was irritating sometimes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, to know that
Yeah.
you leave a little bit of a mark
Yeah.
someplace.
Right.
It's about that anymore.
right.
Can I leave a mark?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
Will they remember me
Right.
when I'm gone?
Yeah.
Will they remember me?
Yeah.
And hopefully
Yeah.
they will.
Yeah,
You know?
I'll have somebody say to me, you know, I really like you. You know, my mom watches you, but she watches you every day. But all she does is say, "You don't know what you're talking about," and you know, right? You know, and like basically she watches you to hate on you. And
I know.
what I'll say is,
Thank God,
tell your
listen.
mom I said thank you.
Yeah.
Because she's keeping me gainfully employed.
Exactly.
Without the audience,
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
Without the audience, I have
if you
nothing.
knew how many times
Yeah.
my mother just loved you. I'm just going, oh, God. How are you feeling? Are you enjoying? Oh, I'm loving it too. But my mom,
Yeah.
she loves you so much.
You're my mom. Yeah.
Can I get a picture for my mom?
For my mom, yeah.
My God.
In a much smaller
That's
level.
where we're at,
yeah,
buddy.
Yeah,
That's where we are.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's where we are.
So before we wrap up and get to the final four, just want to talk briefly about the band who sold the world. Final 2 gigs. I mean, it's over. The David Bowie tribute. August
It's
22nd.
done.
August 22nd. August 23rd. West Shore Theater. The first show was announced August 23rd. That's the Saturday show.
Sold out.
That is already sold out. There are still, as of this recording, there are still tickets available for the Friday night show on the 22nd. I'm going to be there. I can't wait.
I hope you introduce us. I'm
Yeah,
asking
well,
you to,
yeah,
please
yeah,
do.
yeah. I mean,
It should be great.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Like I said, I want to take it out. It's been 10 years.
Yeah,
I love the songs. Jenny James, the singer, she has to come up from California every time we do a show.
yeah,
That's a pain
Sure.
for her, I'm sure. And she's so incredible. I mean, she could probably do the show by herself better than I can. But,
Right.
you know, kind of need a male voice in there, too, for
Yeah.
David Bowie. But she's so great. And the whole band, Michael Heininger, Scott Franch, who actually had the idea with me to do a Bowie
yeah. You
show.
started with Scott, sure, yeah,
And we got Logan Bedard on drums, that
right.
drumming prodigy.
Yeah, child protege.
Oh,
There's
my
some videos on
God.
YouTube of you playing with him when he's like
8.
11. Yeah,
8.
8.
The first time he came down in Gillespie's, he came. His dad came up to me
Yeah.
and said, "Do you mind if my son plays this song with you?" I said,
Okay.
"Okay."
Yeah.
What does he want to do?
What are we gonna do? Row your boat?
He wants to do On My Own
Yeah.
by the Sharks.
Whoa.
I went, "Okay."
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a disaster.
Yeah, right.
You know, I said, "Come on up, buddy."
Yeah.
He's 8
1,
years
2,
old.
3,
Come on
4.
up. He's like,
Yeah.
nailed every drum roll,
Yeah.
everything perfect.
Every fill,
I went,
yeah.
what just happened?
yeah.
And now he's definitely
Yeah.
one of the best drummers by
Yeah.
far to
Yeah.
come out of this area ever. And then James Klippel on keyboards,
Yeah.
incredible talent. Who else? Steve Lentz on sax.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
But you know, it's time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
10 years, boom,
Yeah. Boom.
nailed it.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great to walk away? And I, like I said, as of this taping, there are still tickets limited available for the Friday night show. WestShoreTheater.org is where you go to get your tickets. We know it's going to sell out. But yeah, I mean, if this is going to be it, my friend, walk away with back-to-back sold-out nights
Boom.
at West Shore Theater. I mean, awesome.
It stresses me out. It's
Yeah.
It's a lot of words to remember.
Yeah.
2 hours of Bowie words.
Yeah, and
My
Bowie words
God.
are, and you know, you and I had talked about this. I even said to you, I was like, because you see it so often now, whether somebody's using a teleprompter or whether somebody's like literally just following along on the iPad. You said that you're not doing
I
the
got a
iPad.
notebook.
You got a notebook?
If I need a little help, I got a notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can barely turn my phone on. So
Yeah. So yeah, you're
hi.
not. Yeah.
What? What's happening?
Yeah. You're not doing the karaoke thing on an iPad. It's funny. I see so many people now that, you know, like even on
That's
the mic
the thing.
stand.
I won't.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
I've never used backtracks.
Yeah.
I've never. Everything you hear when I play live with the Love Gods or any other band,
It's live.
Nothing is pre-recorded.
Right.
nothing is a backtrack. There's no backup vocals
Right.
streaming through.
Yeah.
It's all live.
Yeah.
It's all people playing music with their instruments and singing.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when people watch these videos, and you can tell the guy's just doing karaoke.
Oh, I know.
He's like acting like he's strumming a guitar and singing.
I know.
Yeah, you're singing the song fine, but
Yeah.
everything else is fake.
Yeah, everything
you
else
know?
is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so got to hit you with what we call the final four.
All right.
The last four questions.
Oh, boy.
Everybody gets them that sits in the hot seat where you are right now.
I'm in the hot seat.
Yeah, so first question is favorite band or artist of all time?
Of course, the Beatles, because they were my biggest influence.
Yeah.
But overall, my favorite band is The Jam
Yeah.
from England.
Yeah.
Paul Weller,
The aforementioned Jam.
The
Yeah.
Jam.
Yeah.
They were, after the Beatles, and going through my Kiss and my Rush phase and
Yeah.
all that stuff when I was a kid, The Jam hit me hard.
Yeah.
And I've loved them ever since. They were the most popular band in England for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Never
broke big here, and that's
never
the way a
broke
lot of
here.
bands are.
Never
Yeah.
broke here.
Yeah.
And I saw them play here,
Yeah.
and they were great. But yeah,
Yeah.
they never broke here because
Yeah.
they're so British.
Right.
You know, it's like that real Cockney accent.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing. This is a modern world.
Yeah,
You know,
right,
that kind
yeah,
of stuff.
yeah, yeah.
But I love the Jam, and of course the Beatles.
Yeah. You could have lunch with anybody, and it doesn't have to be from the music side of things, dead or alive. One person you can have lunch with, who would it be?
Male or female? What are we talking about?
Anybody. Anybody.
Julie Newmar.
Okay.
Catwoman
Yes.
from the Beatles
From the Batman
show.
The Batman show. Yeah, because
she was
in the cat suit?
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Who would I want to have lunch with?
Anybody. One lunch, one person. Julie Newmar's pretty good.
Do they
I
have-
mean,
do
that's
they have
kind
to
of a
be-
mic drop.
Do they have to be alive?
No, dead or alive. Yeah.
Bowie.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Killer.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen interviews with him. Such a smart man. So brilliant, you know, and always knew what to say. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, I mean, put the capital R in rock star.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything about him, right?
Boom.
Most confident, like, I'm going to do this now.
Yeah.
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 Right. Yeah.
I mean, to be that brave to do Ziggy, that was freaky. And, you know, being a kid when that
Yeah.
came out, I was like taken aback. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Now it's one of my
Yeah.
favorite records of all time.
Let me ask you this. What do you think he would think of what you do with the tribute?
Well, I'm not wearing the jock strap, so
Right.
he'd be happy about that. I think
He could pull off the jock
I
strap,
think
though,
he'd
yeah.
appreciate the time and the effort that we
Yeah.
put into making it sound like the record.
Yeah.
He would always change things up live. You know,
Yeah.
he changed the songs up.
Yeah.
We really focused in on sounding pretty much just like the record.
Right.
Like Hunky Dory and
Yeah.
Ziggy Stardust and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he'd appreciate that I'm singing my best and trying to sound similar to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
fact that I can somewhat sound like him,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, we,
you know?
we talked about this as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, for those that have seen the show or come to see the show,
No
you know,
jockstrap.
no jockstrap.
No,
No
you don't want to see
jockstrap.
that.
Yeah, you're not one of those tribute bands that tries to like dress and
No.
act and yeah.
Nope.
But yeah, your register is very similar. to
Thank
his.
God for falsetto sometimes, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't
Yeah.
know how I'm going to do tonight, but
Yeah.
falsetto is the savior sometimes. You
Yeah.
know, like when I go to sing Led Zeppelin and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
that high register. Thank
Yeah.
God that I
Yeah.
have a falsetto left.
Yeah.
Just like Steve Whiteman. Some of those things that he would just, most of it was like full voice
Yeah.
from kicks.
Sure.
But then there was like cold shower we'd go like,
Crazy.
and that was falsetto.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way. That could
Crazy.
be just,
yeah. Crazy. And he's famously talked about how, as he got older, it was like, oh, why did I do that when you know, in those.
You do it in the studio and you go, why?
Yeah.
Why
And
did
then-
I sound so
yeah.
good in the studio?
Yeah,
Why didn't I sound
yeah.
like crap?
Yeah. What's the one song, Shea Quinn, that you wish you've written, as you said, you know, so many songs. What's the one song that you wish you would have written?
Life on Mars by David Bowie.
Yeah. Can we expect to see that on the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Figured
that's
as
good.
much, but yeah.
And I've asked for that to be played at my funeral.
Wow.
That song, flawless.
Yeah.
And you know, you ask him what those lyrics about, and he has no idea.
Yeah.
He just went.
Came out of me.
It just came out of me.
Came out of me. Yeah. Came out of me.
And the chord changes in that song are so. It's Rick Wakeman playing the piano.
That I did not know. I
From
never
Yes.
knew that. Yeah.
Rick Wakeman playing keyboards on Life on Mars.
I never knew that.
And my lovely daughter Piper, for Christmas a few years ago, thought she surprised me, and she learned the entire piano part to Life on Mars.
Oh my God.
And Christmas morning, of course, her mother, you know, was video, you know, had
Yeah.
the camera on me, and she played the entire song, and I cried
Yeah.
like a baby.
Yeah.
Just, I couldn't believe she put that much time into it. That's
Yeah.
incredible piano
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
You know, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really cool. Now I want,
Life on Mars. Yep.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
No, I want. I have two sons, Chris and Cameron, and the gauntlet is now down. If I don't get the piano parts to Christine 16 on Christmas morning, I'm going to be really upset. Okay, because Piper,
Christine!
because
16!
Piper learned a really hard piano part for her dad.
Oh my gosh, all these songs were like, the girls are like, you have to sing 17.
Ding, 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 ding. So, final question. I think I know the answer, but I thought I knew the answer even before I would have asked this, and now I really feel like I know the answer. Beatles or the Stones, Shay?
Sammy was Stones, I was Beatles.
Yeah.
I was more on the melodic side, and Sammy Luger was more like the rough and raw side. I was more polished, like the beautiful harmonies of the
Yeah.
Beatles, and Sam was more like, I liked the rough,
Sure.
lousy backup vocals and
Yeah, right.
mistakes on the records. He
sure.
loved that stuff.
Yeah.
He loved that.
Yeah. The Stones were always that, and the Beatles were, you know, the,
I'm Beatles,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Well, every time I
I
ask
met the Stones 3 times,
Yeah.
and I love them.
Yeah.
And Sam was with me the one time, and I was telling you
Yeah.
during the break,
Yeah.
there's a picture of Sam and I with the Stones, and Sam just loved Keith Richards.
Yeah.
And the picture is with Keith has his hand on Sam's shoulder.
Wow.
And Sam's eyes are like,
Holy shit.
what
Yeah,
the hell is going on right now?
Yeah.
It was so great.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to do that for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got, you know, the time. And
Thank you so much for having me, brother.
Yeah. You know, you're active on social media and on Facebook, or you have people that help
Too
you out with
much.
it. Yeah. But you can
I'm
always
playing
find out.
way too much.
Yeah, you can always find out where Shay's going to be next, and it is all over Central Pennsylvania. That's one of the reasons.
ShayQuinn.com.
Yeah, ShayQuinn.com. I know you can also find your
Who
schedule.
knows how long it's going to last?
Yeah.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah, Bands in Town also has your schedule
Yep.
as well. So you can check that out as well. But this guy, dude, what can I say, man? Thank you.
I love you, buddy.
Thank you so much. Love
Thanks
you too,
for having
brother. Great conversation. Thanks for being here, making the time.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you to our friend Jeff Carley and Moving Audio Imagery for putting all of this together. You know, going to see you again real soon, and going to see you doing the Bowie thing with the band who sold the world.
Please
coming
come
up.
out. It's,
I'll be there. Yeah.
It's selling out quick, so get your tickets.
Yeah, get your tickets. So, all right. Thank you, brother.
I'm going to put a lot into it because
Yeah.
it's the last 2 shows.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank
And,
you.
You know, we'll see you again soon. All right.
Thank
thanks
you so much.
Thanks again, everybody. Thanks
Love
for
you
tuning
all.
in. Thanks for tuning in to another best episode yet of
Oh, come on.
The Night Shift.
Nice.
That was so much
Thank
fun.
you so much. Man,
That was outstanding.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was so cool.